What do you believe is the key to achieving success and reaching our goals? Some people point to factors like dedication, concentration, and perseverance. However, research suggests that these are actually outcomes of something even more powerful, something we all have the ability to develop. This crucial element plays a fundamental role in success, and that's what I'm here to discuss today. A great example of remarkable success is Josh Waitzkin, an international chess master and the inspiration behind the movie Searching for Bobby Fischer. No one else has achieved as many national chess championships as Josh. But even more impressively, at the age of 21, he decided to take on an entirely new and unrelated challenge: martial arts. Josh discovered that his ability to learn and grow extended beyond chess, and he applied those same principles to a new field. He dedicated himself to Tai Chi Chuan, enduring setbacks, injuries, and countless hours of practice. In the end, his relentless effort paid off. He became a world-class martial artist, winning 2 world championships. Now he has turned his focus to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So, what does Josh consider the most important event in his journey? Surprisingly, he says, losing my first national chess championship because it helped him avoid common psychological pitfalls. The biggest of these is the belief that success is purely based on talent, thinking that one is naturally gifted and therefore doesn't need to work hard. He could have seen himself as a prodigy, but instead, Josh rejects the idea that intelligence is fixed. He states, "The moment we believe that success is determined by innate ability, we become fragile when faced with challenges." He frequently references the work of Stanford professor Carol Dweck, who identified 2 different ways people view intelligence: a fixed mindset, where abilities are seen as unchangeable, and a growth mindset, where skills and intelligence can be developed through effort. Dr. Dweck's research reveals that these mindsets lead to drastically different behaviors and outcomes. In a study conducted with Dr. Lisa Blackwell, hundreds of 7th graders were surveyed to determine their mindsets and then tracked over 2 years. The findings were striking. Students with a growth mindset, who believed they could improve their intelligence, saw their grades increase over time. Those with a fixed mindset did not. Over time, the gap between the 2 groups widened. Similar studies have shown this applies to many areas beyond academics, whether it's problem-solving, sports, leadership, or even learning a dance like La Macarena. The real driver of success isn't just effort, focus, or determination. Rather, it's the mindset that fuels these qualities. Research indicates that trying to force traits like perseverance is far less effective than fostering the mindset that naturally cultivates them. How many of us label ourselves as not good at math, not creative, or not athletic? Or, on the other hand, believe that we are simply naturals at something? To reach our full potential, we must shift our perspective. We are not confined by our current capabilities. Neuroscience confirms that the brain is highly adaptable. We have the power to enhance our cognitive abilities and performance. Many of history's greatest achievers, Charles Darwin, Lucille Ball, Marcel Proust, were dismissed early in their careers. But like Mozart and Einstein, they built their talents over time. The key takeaway is this: when we embrace the idea that we can develop our abilities, we elevate our performance to new heights. But how does a growth mindset achieve this? Research using brain scans shows that people with a fixed mindset become most engaged when receiving feedback about their performance, such as grades or scores, whereas those with a growth mindset are more focused on learning how they can improve. This difference has profound effects. People with a fixed mindset see effort as something only necessary for those who lack natural ability. In contrast, those with a growth mindset view effort as the very thing that leads to success. When faced with obstacles, individuals with a fixed mindset tend to give up, interpreting failure as proof of their limitations. To protect their self-esteem, they disengage, a behavior often mistaken for a lack of motivation. On the other hand, those with a growth mindset recognize setbacks as an essential part of growth, finding ways to adapt and overcome, just as Josh Waitzkin did in both chess and martial arts. Scientific research consistently supports these findings. In a study by Dr. Dweck and Dr. Claudia Mueller, children were given puzzles to solve and then praised in two different ways. Some were told, "You did well, you must be smart at this," reinforcing a fixed mindset. Others were told, "You did well, you must have worked hard," which emphasized a growth mindset. When given the choice between an easy or difficult PE puzzle next, the majority of children praised for their intelligence chose the easier task, while those praised for effort opted for a greater challenge. Later, all the children were given a difficult puzzle. When they returned to solving easier puzzles, the fixed mindset group performed worse than before, while the growth mindset group improved. Even more telling, when asked to report their scores, children in the fixed mindset group were over 3 times more likely to lie about their performance because they lacked an alternative way to handle failure. This highlights a critical point. How we praise people affects their mindset. We often tell children they are smart to boost their self-esteem, but this can unintentionally foster a fixed mindset, making them fear challenges and struggle with setbacks. Instead, as Josh Waitzkin emphasizes, feedback should focus on the learning process rather than talent. If we win because we are winners, then losing must mean we are losers. Importantly, research also shows that mindsets can be changed. In another study, Dweck and Blackwell conducted a workshop to teach a growth mindset to 7th graders. As a result, students became more engaged, worked harder, and their grades improved. Further studies indicate that instilling a growth mindset not only raises overall achievement, but also reduces performance gaps, especially for students facing negative stereotypes, such as girls in math or underrepresented minorities. But mindsets aren't just relevant to students. They shape our workplaces as well. Managers with fixed mindsets resist feedback and invest less in employee development. Meanwhile, employees who adopt a growth mindset toward specific skills, like negotiation, significantly outperform their fixed mindset counterparts. Mindsets even influence major social issues. One study found that when Israelis and Palestinians were introduced to the idea that groups can change, their attitudes toward one another improved, increasing openness to compromise and peace efforts. Mindsets also impact relationships, sports, and health. So why aren't we prioritizing the development of a growth mindset in schools? Teaching facts, concepts, and critical thinking is important, but without cultivating the fundamental belief that growth is possible, we limit students' success, not just academically, but in life. There are many ways to shift our mindset, but here are 3 key steps we can all take. Recognize that a growth mindset isn't just useful, it's backed by science. Neuroscience confirms that the brain strengthens and adapts when we challenge ourselves, learn and teach strategies for skill development. Understanding the mechanics of improvement deepens our belief in our ability to grow. Listen for the voice of a fixed mindset. When you hear yourself say, "I can't do this," add the word "yet." My challenge to you today is to share this knowledge with your friends, family, and schools. If we embrace the growth mindset, we can all unlock our true potential. Thank you. Applause.